All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1.
We have qualification match number 49 underway. All 6 robots springing to life. Currently 4 pieces of coral on level 4 for the Red Alliance, 1 for Blue. 1 piece of algae up on the red side of the net as well, which means that the Red Alliance will be taking the lead 48-16 going into the teleoperated period. 36-63 CPR dropping off a piece of coral up onto level 4, grabbing it, super cycling an algae and dropping it off into the Red Alliance net. Popcorn Penguin following up with a piece of algae as well as Miso Robotics with the triple team on that Red Alliance net. Meanwhile, on the blue side of the field, algae is strewn about the floor as they choose to focus instead on the coral with a nearly full level 4 and algae all about. 80-33 Highlanders looks to work on their algae situation. Over back on the red side of the field, Miso dropping off a piece of coral onto level 2, followed by CPR as well. Looks like they are gunning for the coral ranking point, scoring just enough to get the 7 on each level at first. They've got level 4 and 3, now they're working on 2. Meanwhile, if we take a look up at the net, the Red Alliance does have considerably more algae scored than the Blue Alliance, but the scores aren't too far off, as it is 147-107 in favor of the Red Alliance, but there's still 45 seconds left in the match. Popcorn Penguins continuing to work on algae for the Red Alliance, picking up pieces of algae from the Blue Alliance side of the field as well. Looks like Iron Claw going for an early climb to potentially secure that barge RP as the 20-second sound effect goes off. Robots now heading over to their barge zones to climb up on their cages and score additional points for their alliance. Popcorn Penguins up in the air, CPR for a last second park as the match comes to a close. We'll be back with your official match results in just a moment. We have your match results. It's going to the Red Alliance with a score of 178-158. Red Alliance earning all 3 bonus ranking points as well, while the Blue Alliance takes home the auto and barge bonus ranking points. And now over to the RSN desk for a match analysis.
The Red Alliance takes the win by 20 points, but there was an even greater deficit coming out of auto. Dave, walk us through that.
Yeah, I think we saw at the scores at the end of auto, you had Red Alliance with 53 and the Blue Alliance with 16. And the Blue Alliance pretty much spent the entire match trying to catch up to that. And when you have a deficit like that coming out of auto, it's really kind of impossible in a game like this because you're so rhythmized and everything is so systematic. It's really hard to, unless you're clicking in a way that is super, super efficient, it's hard to make up that ground. And you kind of saw the match end with very 10-point difference, but very similar deficit. Any notes, Aiden?
Not too much to say about this match. Red Alliance being able to play the Coral game. All 3 robots working on the algae to begin with, and not too many shots were able to go up. Actually, most of them tended to congregate underneath the red barge. But once that match got started, Red Alliance sending their Coral scores over, and Penguins were kind of in the ball pit, so to speak. Like, they just had all this algae all around, grab it, put it up in the barge, kind of stick it in their little corner underneath the barge. So the Penguin playpen, fun times for them, making sure that Red Alliance is picking up those points, and you see 9 algae up in the barge. That is the maximum amount of algae that any alliance starts with, so good to see them really cleaning up the field for Red.
Yeah, something I saw, it's super interesting, 94-42 Miso Mechanics. Their driver, you can tell, incredibly skilled and must have hours and hours on that. When they score the L1, they do a little launch, like back up a little bit, a little launch, and then drive into the reef as they're scoring to kind of make sure that it stays there.
Give it some kick.
Yeah, give it some kick, and that's the kind of thing that you don't really plan for that from the beginning. It's like as you're doing it, you can tell the driver just gets a ton of hours on it and makes it work, and that's a perfect example of that. All right, match 50. What do we see?
Over on the side of the Red Alliance, we have 694 Stiepulse in that second rank position, looking to grab probably. They want a 6 RP match here. They really want to probably edge out the Chezy Poofs from that rank 1 position. What else do we see?
Honestly, it's a little hard to tell. All the matches are kind of blending together. 694 really is the standout for me as well. 3478 bringing some of that mojo back as well for the Red Alliance. Blue, I know 973 was having some issues in an earlier match. I'm hoping they've got that worked out. And 2073 had some in the morning, but mostly seems to be ironed out as well. So I think Blue, this is kind of, for them, probably their last match of the evening today. Just see how strong you can finish off, right? And maybe, squeak out the win here. We'll see what these teams can bring to the field, but it is time to get this match started. So we will send it on over to the scoring table.